let's talk about the Becker and the Cold Steel. First off, let's run the specs. Design, you have a clip point design on the Becker, you have a drop point design on the Slock Master. Steel, Oz 8 on the BK40. We're running 8 CR13 MOV steel on the Slock Master. Overall length, 8.5 inches on the BK40, and then we're running 8 3/8 on the Slock Master. That puts them pretty close. I mean, just a hair off. Blade length, 3.5 inches, actually 3.56 inches for all the folks that want the official stats on the BK40, and 3.5 inches on the Slock Master. Now the handles are a black GFN, that's a glass filled nylon on the BK40. On the Slock Master, we're looking at orange glass filled nylon as well. Now we have two different grinds on these. With the BK40, we're looking at a flat grind, and with the Slock Master, we're looking at a hollow grind. Locking mechanism on the BK40 is a liner lock. Slock Master, it is a lock back with a rocker lock, and that's that little safety right there. They're both tip up carry. It looks like you can put the pocket clips on both sides, and this one you can do tip up or tip down carry by moving the clip up or down. This one is just tip up carry, but you can go left and right. Now, weight. On the BK40, we're looking at 4.8 ounces. On the Slock Master, we're looking at 4.1 ounces, so a little bit lighter. Let's break it down. Cutting the leather. The BK40, in my opinion, struggled just a little bit cutting the leather over the Slock Master. The Slock Master, I think with the hollow grind, it cut the leather a lot easier. Now, I like doing a leather test, and the reason I do it is this, is that it'll let you know edge angle, it'll let you know sharpness, all that stuff. And I've only used these blades just right out of the box. I've not dressed these blades, I've not polished them up, I've not stropped them, just right out of the box, straight from the manufacturer. And then we threw it here on the stump block so we could test it out to show you folks how it's going to work for you straight up. That one, I have to give the Slock Master. Rope cutting test. The reason I do the rope cutting test is the same as the leather test. The rope's going to really let you know if you have any rolled edges, if the angle of the grind's not working out. I think the hollow grind on the Slock Master, again, beat out the BK40. Let's talk about a little tri-stick that we did. And I like doing that test. One, it tells you a lot about the handle. For me, the most important part of any blade is the handle. Both of them worked really well. They did a good job. I had to put a little bit more effort in with the BK40 than I had to with the Slock Master. And I think a lot of that is the way that the grind is. And I'm not a fan of hollow grinds, but I think in this test, the hollow grind beat out the flat grind on the BK, hands down. And you guys can see it. I'll pair them up side by side as we're cutting and I'm doing notching. Next up was the fire steel. The BK40, it wouldn't rake the steel to produce any sparks at all. The Slock Master had a nice 90-degree spine, and it did a great job with doing that. I must say, in all the tasks that I did with these two blades, the Slock Master had just a little bit of play in the pivot over the KA-BAR BK40. It was noticeable when I was doing some of the cuts. I could feel it twist a little bit. And I don't know if that's because there's no liner in these glass-filled nylon scales, and that's part of the reason to keep the weight down, as opposed to the BK40 that has a liner in there. Speaking of that, the locking mechanisms worked really well on both these blades. They felt really secure. Next up was how they carried in the pocket. The BK40 fit really well in the pocket. I really like the pocket clip and the way that the ergos are on it. Being able to get it out of your pocket and deploy the blade was real easy. Getting the Slock Master out was the same, but it was just a pain trying to get it back into the pocket. I think that they need to go back and maybe do a little bit of tweaking on the pocket clip on the Slock Master, because it was hard to get it back into the pocket one-handed. It required two hands. So let's get to the rat killer on both these blades. First off, let's talk about overall appearance. I like the appearance of both these blades. They look really nice. If you notice, on the BK40 it has jimping on the spine, whereas the Slock Master doesn't have jimping. With that said, the handles have stimpling on the Slock Master, where the BK40 has smooth handles. I think structurally, not having liners in the Slock Master gave it a little bit of twist as I was performing some of the cutting duties. With that said, if I had to rate which one won the shootout, I would have to go with the Slock Master. I think the Slock Master, for the money, is a better value over the BK40. As you guys know, I've said in a lot of videos, I'm not a fan of a hollow grind, but the way that this knife is designed, it just works really well with this blade. I did the stabbing tests. That'll tell you a lot about a blade. Both of them held up really well. I was concerned doing that stabbing test because I was doing it into birch. I thought, oh man, with a hollow grind, I might lose the tip of the Slock Master, but it worked really well. Other than the fact that it's just a little bit of give. But like I said, I think that's liners. Let me know in the comments down below who you thought won this shootout. As always, this is a community and I like hearing from you folks, and that's the only way that we learn and we try out different stuff here on the channel. But as always, this has been a fun video to do for you folks. I'll see you in the next one. You folks take care.